All right, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? Thank you for coming on in and tuning in to this video. For those that don't know, let me introduce myself. Leo Isaiah Bridges here. And I come to you humbly upon this video right here. Now, I advise you to buckle up your seats. And let me go ahead and preface this video by saying that I truly hope that all viewers share this video, share this word, because it's needed. And I'm coming from a place of love, because I'm not only expressing myself here, but I am also revealing that which rests upon my heart. And that I got right up inside here in this dome, in this kingdom. Everybody is a king in measure. To all my fellas out there, no matter what color you are, that's exactly where I'm coming tonight. No matter what color you are, what religion you're in, it ought to be respected, that of what you hold, what you behold, and that what you continue to provide for your people. Now, I know that what I'm going to speak and what I just said is going to delve into the economic system, is going to delve into the political arena in which we are all subjected to the laws of the land. Do you follow me, brothers and sisters? Mainly because I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, to that which I am melanated. You see my hair, you see my skin. For those that know me, come on now. In addition to what I've been putting out, you know what I represent. Now, I know that it may have been a while for me to put out another video in which some people may want to hear it every day. They want to hear the word. They want to hear what I got to say to add on to what they have. And in doing so, I will gladly do it. But I got to do it at my time. I got to do it within my time. And more than anything else, hashtag Godspeed. That's exactly how this thing is working, for those that don't know. And so with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, I have been making, of course, my observations, of which I have noted before in many other videos that I went ahead and I uploaded, published, etc. Now, in addition to me showing myself approved, I don't do so with an inkling of trying to be this big braggadocious guy or self-aggrandize. I don't do none of that. Because I've said it before and I'm going to say it again to keep everybody in remembrance, because this is mainly for edifying purposes, so we can humbly get ourselves in place. Mind you that I said the word we, because I am not excluded from this picture in which I am here with y'all. Y'all here with me. We here with each other, y'all. So, all right. I'm going to start it off with this. With my observations that's being made day in and day out, I have come to a realization that every man of every color will be judged, and they will be judged by their deeds. They will be judged by their acts, which comes from a place of what? Of knowing. The applicability of your knowledge will measure you as a man, as a woman. But now, what do we got? What else do we have that is entangled? What else do we have that is correlated to our acts and our deeds? Is all within self. Now, I keep my mind steadily upon pleasing the elders. But above the elders, what do we have? Within that realm of elders, I will go ahead and question again, as I have before a long time ago, but I'm going to bring it up tonight. If the government is governing us, who is governing the government? You feel what angle I'm coming from here? With all due respect. This is to put everybody in a place of, hopefully, my intentions It's to humble. It's to humble you. Because that's where I come from. I am humble. I practice humility day in and day out. From the time my eyes close to the time that it opens up. I am still embarking upon this journey of spiritual growth, becoming a better man, and being a man of integrity. I am working on fortifying myself as an African man because that's who I am by blood of my paternal line. Yes, I am of mixed blood. Many people, if you see my mother walking with me and you see us together, you wouldn't even think that's my mother. It's not because she looks crazy. It's not because she looks bogus. But because of what is just there, in which I would have to say respectfully and humbly, there are a lot of people in the hood that's caught up in inadvertently, they're caught up in judgmental biasness. Trust me when I tell you. And respectfully, the reason why is because, like I say, as I've been told, meet people where they at. I don't come with these videos to try to make it seem like I'm bigger than anybody. I know more than anybody. This is me giving you what I know, brothers and sisters. And I gotta be honest, excuse me if it sounded I'm a little slurred. But yes, I have indulged in a few Guinnesses tonight, but that don't make me no less than who I am, because although I know what I'm saying and what I'm putting out may be a little bit distorted, in which some people may have picked up already by knowing how to read the countenance. They got sound right reasoning, they can hear my voice. And in doing so, there's a frequency that's being put out there. Hence, about 3 weeks ago, I did have a little bit of marijuana. I had some cannabis. And when I tuned in to the song Damaged by Her, when I heard that, it made me feel so good. Why did it make me feel so good? Because I know the original song that she sampled, which is a very loving song. And also, because of the frequency that I was on, that I was able to just tune right in by the time it hit me. From the time that video came on, it sparked something in me, and I started dancing by myself. I kid you not. I kid you not. All right? And that's something that I want y'all to hear me. Like, yo, hear me on that and tune in. You know what? I think what happened is amongst men, particularly, and I'm going to get back to the fact of the matter, is that I think a lot of men continue to be led by their egos, in which we are being, or have been rather, we have been infiltrated. And when I say infiltrated, I'm talking about that of the soul and spirit, in which you may have a breach of spirit, or you're caught up in so much in the ways of the world, because first of all, it's so prevalent that most men, I would have to say, and women feel like they had no choice but to congeal, as much as they felt like they had to comply with the ways of the world. Because why? A lot of things was portrayed in the videos on TV, YouTube, Instagram. It's very impressionable upon everyone that tunes in, no matter who you are, a child, an adult. But of course, everyone have their different levels of knowledge, and they know how to discern, know what to avoid, know what to indulge in, etc., yada, yada, yada. Respectfully. Do you follow me? All right, so moving on. What I'm bringing tonight is basically my revelation upon my own being, in which I hope it resonates with those that's on the frequency, those who are not on the frequency, in which I would hope and pray that they concede as much as they adhere to the words that's being spoken herein. Furthermore, Okay? Now, moving forward, no matter what color you are, or what religion you're with, or whatever constituency you have, I want us to all know that we have a duty to speak freely. I would have to say in measure, because young, this is especially going out to my young brothers right here, be wise in the words that you speak. Because either the fruits of your words going to bear life or it's going to bear death. I take the train, the New York City MTA, or I take the train system, or I take the bus system, in which I am commonly being, I would have to say, confronted. Not well. Let me not go there. I'm gonna have to say that I am being introduced, or I'm being met at odds and variance that's those that's not on my frequency. To which now I have to say, okay, well, how do I assess this situation? Do I intercede? Or do I just let it go by the wayside as to where I have to continue on what I'm doing? Because the engagements of men with the amount of inflamed egos is a dangerous task within itself. I say this, and I'm going to say it again, and let it be known that I do not hate anyone, no matter what color you are. I hate the situation that humanity is in, but in my continual journey, in which I am learning profoundly what's taking place, I know that it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. This is not to give excuses or reasons for belligerence, violence, nonsense, and wickedness. Do you follow me, brothers and sisters? Trust me when I tell you, man. I am onto something. I have more than a hunch. As you can see with my background, I am still here with within the habitation of the JFK airport. I say again, I don't solicit money from anyone. I may ask of a request from friends and family or affiliates that's close to me, and that's what it is. And it gets me through my day. It helps me within my time. But I know, just like the reason I'm bringing this video here, I gotta produce something for y'all. Hence, for any followers that I have on Instagram, prior to this particular video, which is already timestamped, if you know how to chronologically follow, go ahead, tap into my Instagram, and you will see what's there and how it's all put together. I'm working on something here. And this is not just for me, this is for all men and women of all color. But because of that of which I am, as I've said before, I speak to those people because it goes into the ethers, and it's just as. That's called spiritual science. My father is an African man. My mother is mixed with Portuguese and Indian. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever sins, whatever traumas may continually reside, not only me, but she and he and my siblings have work to do to break generational curses, generational traumas, to bring forth what? A new earth. What is earth? Hey, as from where we came, we shall return on to. This skin, this body is of the earth. Who did the Creator give life onto in the beginning of time? Now, I got to say that I do surely hope that this reaches, in which I believe it is already, as I'm already being recorded, possibly without no kind of negative connotation or conspiracies against the FBI or the CIA, in which they are receiving this feed right now with me through this phone. That's how tapped in they are with their technological intelligence and advancements. I don't mind. I'm trying to find my place in the world, live freely, as I can be, so I can be of joy and I can bring forth something to the people. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. However, I gotta say that because I have been learning so much, I can see where, okay, as I do already, I give respects unto all men. However, where I lay, where I am intellectually and spiritually, there is a disagreement, there is a tense feeling, and when I make contact with those of different origins. But what do we have, brothers and sisters? I'm talking to the Ados family and all my African, the most melanated people, Indians included, is that those of a genetic recession that come of lighter skin comes from whom? Darker skinned people, African people, in which the oldest bones was found where? In the eastern coast of the African land, also known as Alkebulan before it receives that name. Now, some people may go ahead and look it up and listen to the Israelites that put it out there and say Leo Africanus was the one who founded Africa and yada yada yada, dominated, plagiarized, plundered, in addition to the Greeks, yada yada yada. I'm gonna tell you something with that. It's called the EU, European Union. I am not saying this to trying to belittle anybody of European ethnicity. I come to you humbly, in which I hope you would receive humbly, to say, hey, look, man, not only this brother here, but I'm sure there are other people out there doing the works of all complexions to bring about, or rather to portray through word in any way that we can articulate it, which will redefine entertainment, the entertaining field. We have our job, we have our duty, which is dutiful upon men, to put our words out there, to express ourselves, to help edify, to help teach, because we are forever teachers and students in life, to bring about a new world. A lot of people talk about elites, Illuminati. As I've said before, we need to stop attaching negative connotations to the words and concepts or narratives that's being worded or said by each individual. Because commonly what happened, in which I see, there seems to be, whenever we speak certain words or of concepts, is airy. It gets airy. Intense feelings come about where some people feel like they can't even speak or vocalize their expressions. And to me, brothers and sisters, that is wrong. That is wrong. Speak what you speak, but I say, apply wisdom. Be humble. Practice humility and let it be what it's going to be. Keep good intentions. Say your daily prayers and affirmations to bring about a better world. Now, I know in me saying so, I could have indulged in certain relations with women of other ethnic groups. But I myself just have a particular, or have had, I would have to say, a particular notion in how I look to move forward. Meaning, where I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, that I would rather have an African woman as my first wife because I want to have more than one wife. I want to have more than one wife. But I know there's much things that has to be established before any man in particular could have that. Not only have it, but more importantly, to maintain such. Because now you're looking to take on a crown to be a man of prominence, and you represent for that of your tribe and of your people. Not only where you reside, but where your bloodline goes back onto, to the brothers and sisters across the water. Which is why I cannot stress enough the establishments that we need to make by relearning our mother tongue, getting in touch with the jargon that's used. I know that through the English language, which have came about through colonialism, hence the word lexicon, jargon, It's all applicable to different facets of what we are trying to achieve in totality. You follow what I'm saying? Now, for whatever words, I would have to say for the words that I use, because I'm coming straight off the top here. This is what I do. If you don't know the word, just kindly look it up. You can look it up on the Google Dictionary, Merriam Dictionary, Oxford Dictionary. It's beautiful. Because I think where we went wrong is not only to where we have become of, or to that which we behold, but it's like, well, okay, we have this language, we have that language, in which I put out a video recently. If you can go down on my timeline, which I was talking about in the book of Corinthians, the tongues that's spoken. I went ahead and I broke that down, and I'm trying to apply it here by saying, hey, look, the more tongues that you know, you have more of a duty to use your intellect to bring about as much as to add on to this whole picture for the betterment of humanity. Because I don't hate any man, I don't hate any woman of any religion or any color, ethnicity, or nationality. I hate that condition that humanity is in. And yes, before I die and before you die, we should want to see where we have contributed to a utopic world. Now, I know with me saying that, there's going to be a lot of speculations, or there's going to be a lot of say-so, gainsaying upon GMO food, this, that, and the third. Well, if that's the case, let's not just hear what was being said, but I would have to say, you know what? I beseech, if I have that power, I beseech you to go ahead and take a look upon these words, these concepts, these narratives. Apply wisdom, apply understanding, and then you will gain understanding as to where we stand. And the more professed you become as a man and woman of all color, you now overstand. To whom much is given, much is required. I don't come with hate. I just want my just dues. I want the just dues that's due for everyone out there that's been done wrong. And let's speak in truth, because if you have to fear being expressive, then we're going to have to rewrite. I say we, yes, because you got those who are the upper echelon, but then you got those on the bottom who do the what? Who do the voting. They get up in the morning, they'll wash their face, brush their teeth. It's already premeditated what they got to do the following day or the day of to do what? To not only be a number in this political arena or whatnot, but everything is being noted. Everything is being recorded. Everything is being accounted for. So, as far as I see things, as I've said before, and I've shared it with you, that enmity, jealousy, envy, and fear continue to perpetuate falsehood. It continues to perpetuate filth. It continues to perpetuate injustices, etc., etc. Whatever it is that you can add on to what I'm saying, because this is how I come to you straight, and I look for people to drop a line in which I feel like I haven't received yet. Now, I know in my standing that there are spiritual, I would have to say, how could I put this? There are spiritual indictments that we have to reconcile. Let the judgment be brought forth. What the brother P. Diddy is going through, he's not the only one. There's many others in those arenas. And as I've said before in the video, and this is what baffles me and gets me upset, is that I don't get no commentary in addition to what I put out. Is that there's a lot of things that has been taking place and continue to be prevalent in this world. within the laws of the land. In America, particularly, and that of the UK, because between America and the UK, there's a lot of things taking place in which not only judgment, but correction and justice and truth has to prevail. Now, if we don't have each other's back like we supposed to, then what are we here for? Men, are we here to grab our crotch to see whose penis is bigger? Ladies, is it about whose body is more voluptuous? How pretty your eyes, your hair, your nails is? Huh? What is that for? We talk about melanin, 9 ether, laid hair, lace fronts. For what? We can put it into context. Yada, yada, yada. And at the end of the day, I know that the true judge is of the Creator. Do you feel where I'm coming from? Now, don't let anybody tell you that, oh, even though they may be of a reputable source, and don't want to fall into the lines of having ill repute, or being of ill repute, rather, that they will say, yo, this brother's out there, he just trying to talk what he talk. He don't know what he talking about. He ain't down with me. He don't talk nothing. He don't even contact me and this, that, and the third. Well, look, I've been asked, in fact, I've requested emphatically to be put on a debate with anybody of the LGBT family or anybody out there that goes against what I'm saying. Do that, in which we will begin to edify not just ourselves, because I'm open-minded. I know I can be corrected in measure, just as you can be corrected in measure, and it shall produce something that's fruitful. Now, for those that want to continue to be ignorant and stay where they are, it is what it is. That's a beautiful saying. It is what it is. You are who you are. I'm not saying like, oh, I wish the worst for you. No, I don't wish death on nobody. I don't wish wrong on nobody. But let's get humble, brothers and sisters. Everyone, to know where we stand. Because there are European members, human beings, that work hard to maintain the integrity. I done seen it. I bear witness to it. But I believe that the continuation and prevalence of enmity, jealousy, and envy is because of what we behold, brothers and sisters, that of the African family. Because I know, as I've shared before, that I know in some way those who are less melanated, the Asians, Europeans, they look upon us and say, wow, we established so much and we're doing so much that we only wish we had the melanin that y'all got, because what we could do with that, oh my God, would be phenomenal. Understood in my standing upon this square as a man, looking to become fortified, as I said. Do you follow? There's work to do, y'all. If any of the, well, I don't want to put this in the sense of, oh, this body is doing that, or this body is doing that. Let me just say this, because I got work to do too, to know how to properly reconnect with my people and the people by articulating myself in such a way that is profound, direct, bold, and frank. And whatever, where I find myself speaking with some people, I gotta know how to measure it. Do I come to them concisely? You feel what I'm saying? Trust me, y'all, we got work to do, because I get tired and I get disheartened about what I see where, call it the El Dorado, where the city of gold, okay, where the African people reside, the Ados family, Miami, Atlanta, LA, New York, Texas, wherever. And this is mainly pointing out to those who know what's going on with the paternal bloodline within them, because that's how God decreed this here. Man sets order. He sets the tone. And then by doing so, what does that man have to do? What do I have to do as a man? Maintain the integrities of day in and day out. So as I said before, I feel like in some way, which I know I hold to be true, no matter what anybody can tell me, is that in some way we are all fighting to please the creator more than this group or that group. And I know that's going to be forevermore. But we got to know how to do so without violence, without wickedness and perversions, because I I stand here before you as a soul being, I guess, that's going up against the ways of the world, in which I don't deal with lesbian and homosexuality, bisexuality. I don't deal with that. So this is where I stand. So in measure, I would have to say within my own knowing, understanding, and cognition upon what's taking place in the world, that I would have to say humbly that I am somewhat. I am not a miscreant. I am not an outlaw. I see myself as a gentleman, but also that of a gangster in measure, to where I continue to stand upon this square while I'm not indulging in such things. Because for everything that we've done, brothers and sisters, take a look. This is mainly for my African people. Take a look at the state of hip hop. Take a look at the Hollywood world, where we have brothers and sisters acting we have actors and actresses of all ages. And what are we continuing to reap? You mean to tell me, with all the millions and billions that, and even I would have to say the trillions that could be accumulated if they properly put their money together, pool their resources to establish an African sanctuary, an African community, an African neighborhood, a town, a sector, a province, etc., etc. I mean, we're living here in 2024. We're moving on to 2025 in a couple of weeks. Where do we stand? We all have work to do, and so now it comes like this. Well, okay, if this group of African Americans is doing this, it's going to be held up to those and against those having a, I would have to say, in the sense of having a friendly competition, because no matter how you slice this thing, in addition to all the blood that's being mixed, we are all an inheritable family. So what is it that we're establishing? Do you follow me, brothers and sisters? We gotta lift one another up, man. Stop all that nonsense out there and trying to be all braggadocious and everything else, man. I'm telling you, we got work to do, man. We got work to do. I said before, now that I'm at a place where I'm mature, and as far as how I view women, I am attracted to all women that host a particular embodiment, meaning their hygienic level, their natural appeal, and meaning their state of naturality, and just how they go about carrying themselves. Every man has that within them, but then you know what happens? Due to the ways of the world, as it's already shown out here, with the continual indulgences. Matter of fact, I know as I speak now and as you listening now, there's some people out there doing some wicked things. Illegitimate babies might be born, or rather conceived, in a more factual, thorough way. They're going to be conceived tonight within this word, in this upload, in this publishing, and then what comes about a couple months from now, in addition to years on now, because this is all generational. Do you follow? So whatever woman I choose to get with, brothers and sisters, if you don't have nothing good to say, if you don't have nothing edifying to say, then I suggest humbly and respectfully to just do this. Because for as much as we behold as African men, because I've said before, for those who've been following me, if you haven't, please tap into my videos. I once spoke about enriching black men, African men, enriching women, and enriching women that's of a genetic recession. Whether you get with a Sicilian, Italian, Korean, a Japanese, a Philippine, you follow? I say so humbly. Don't think just because you look good, you got this bankroll, you might be packing 9 inches, 7 inches. We can't get into that frivolous nonsense. We got work to do upon where we stand. And look at the state of Black America for all we contributed and all the blood we lost. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Now, look, man, I tell you, this is really something else. But I continue to pray and I continue to hope that this word is being spread for edifying purposes. I don't look for clout, but I know when you're speaking truth to power, when you're speaking truth, which is light shining into the dark, which is also light shining to those who already have the light, which is all in frequency and energy. Everything is everything. I love the sister Lauryn Hill for the music she put out. I was just listening to a wonderful playlist by Drake, Lil Wayne, Timbaland. Fellas, brothers and sisters, we got it, y'all. We got it. Everything we do, African brothers and sisters, they emulate around the world. And by the emulations and everything else that follow and proceeds, what is it that we have? What kind of recompense are we looking at? What kind of reciprocity is this? So I'm already 36 minutes in. That's that. I'm going to shut it off right here. I'm going to look for some commentary, constructively or otherwise, because I'm very open-minded as much as I am open-hearted. I'm not a belligerent, egotistical windbag, none of that. I am here to learn. I'm here to teach. I'm here to be the student. I'm here to edify as much as I can according to that which I have within. As a human being of African descent, and that, of course, I am mixed. But because of what I am, predominantly by my father, I got to do what I have to do. In which I look to regroup with my tribal brothers and sisters, mother and father, etc., etc. Pass the word, brothers and sisters. We got work to do. I thank you so much for tuning into this video, for hearing me out, and passing the word on forward, because we got work to do. I look to establish a jazz lounge, a nice, cool, calm R&B lounge, whatever it is that we need to bring about. And as far as an institution, just like the brother Dr. Umar Ifatunde is trying to establish, in which he's working on, and others. I don't care what body you with. We got work to do, y'all. Quit this egotistical behavior and thinking. Kill that. Speak freely. Now, as I close, Jewish people, y'all got some dark clouds over y'all heads. But guess what? As I recall myself going over the scripture in the book of John, where it says, you are of your father the devil, since many of us, and many that came before me, like to relegate you people to that scripture. Well, guess what? As the scripture says, wait a minute, you got to listen now. You are of your father the devil. Well, being that the most melanated beings in the firstborn, due to the bones that was found in Eastern Africa, which cannot be outdated by anyone, that means y'all came through the loins of an African man. That seed went into soil, which we represent our woman, or representatively, or we may conceptualize our woman to be, the earth. We may refer to her as the earth, the soil, the cosmic womb. Yes, it's all correlated, man. It's all tied in. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to be talking about the Jews do this and do that. Substantiate your claim and put it out. Not with any ounce of hate, but if hate is within you, then you and I got work to do to diminish that. Do you follow? And let's live righteously and get our just dues. Because with all due respect, and humbly so, I know I got my work to do to stay in line with my integrities as a man and become more fortified, so I can please those, not just of my ancestors and forefathers, but the living. Because I know there are Jewish brothers and sisters out there that's waiting for us to step up and to take our place and to know how to converse with them, have some established concord, accordance, etc., 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 with all things that will be useful to where we're going. Every man is accounted for. Every deed, every act is accounted for. So Hootie got all things lined up, in addition to the creator. The Akashic Records got it just as much as the eschatological chart. If you don't know what that word is, I suggest you look it up. Eschatological. Look it up and tell me what you find. Trust me, I'm here, y'all. I just need y'all to roll with me, to get with me, show me some love. I'm gonna show you love back, and let's get this work done. My brothers out there in Harlem, all y'all conscious leaders and members, hear me out. Share the word. Hit me up. Call me out. Invite me. I'm here, y'all. But let's do so in humbleness and humility and integrity. Peace, love, and light, y'all. This is Leo Isaiah Bridges. All right? Thank you. I'll be on standby for any further word. Let's have a beautiful night and a beautiful life. We got work to do. Ashe.